1001 cast long.
What's going on, guys? I'm Assam, this is Sophia, we are the Couple Stream, and today we are back with another Netflix review, Snowpiercer.
Now, don't get confused. There is also a movie called Snowpiercer made in 2013. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that at the end because they are related. But this review is about the TV show that just dropped. Last 2 episodes came out yesterday. We finished it and we are bringing you this review.
Alright, I'm gonna give the bro answer. Global warming happens, they tried to counteract it with a chemical, and they did up, mate. Terrible. It's an ice age up in this. So, so there is a train 1001 cars long called Snowpiercer, made by our guy Mr. Wilford. And basically, the last living people on Earth are living on this train now.
So this is the world's last survivors. To get even on this train, it was the richest of the rich that could afford the tickets. You've got first class, second class, third class. But then there's obviously a few people that were desperate and jumped on this train for free and they just couldn't get rid of all of them. So these guys are now known as the tailies and they live in the cold, dark back end of the train and don't get any of the other privileges that the rest of the train get, right? But obviously they need workers and everything like that. So when things come open, there's sometimes that opportunity for tailies to get promoted to the next class up. Now we've got the main character, Leighton.
My guy, Leighton. One of the most likable characters I've seen in a very long time. This guy's the man. Every time I see him, I get happy and we're always rooting for him. My guy, Leighton.
Yeah, he is a very cool character. Starts off as a tailie, but one day he gets randomly pulled out because there's been a murder on the train. And he is a private detective, so they've picked him to try and figure out who killed the guy up in third.
It is crazy how in this train 1001 cars long, it mirrors life today. Even at a small scale, the upper class, the middle class, and the low class. And also the idea of Mr. Wilford, who is the guy that has created the train, he's almost looked at as like such a godlike figure. It's a huge metaphor for God, and it's very interesting to see how that idea still lives on, even though everyone's living on a train.
1001 cars long.
This show dropped weekly, and I must say it was very annoying because after we finished some episodes, I just wanted to keep watching, just wanted to keep binging. I would say maybe about like second or third episode in, that's when I was really hooked and I just kept on wanting to watch more. So I really wish the whole season just dropped, but that wasn't the case. Luckily last night they dropped 2 episodes, that was a great way to finish it off. And we absolutely loved it and we had a great time.
I'm just not patient enough for this weekly episode thing. I need to have a series ready to go, otherwise I just get so annoyed and so impatient.
This world inside a train was crafted to perfection. It felt real. It wasn't weird between the different factions. It made sense why first class had such a luxury of life and how second worked and how third worked. And you might be asking, what are the workers doing? Well, there are people that couldn't afford tickets, so they have to get in by agreeing to become workers. So that's how the whole system works. It all made sense. It was really interesting. And there was no big holes or huge questions going on. It just made sense, felt legit.
And the science behind it was really interesting. You've got a whole car dedicated to cows and they use the methane to produce heat over here and everything just works in this perfect system, and they explained that along the way. They didn't leave the science out of it, which was really cool. And then something might happen and they're like, oh well, that's gone now, that means we don't have this.
And that all adds to how everything makes sense. The smallest action might create a huge domino effect to affect a whole bunch of other things, and it's really cool that, like Sophia mentioned, it's actually mentioned throughout the show.
Yeah, I think they did really well, and it sort of sparks the ideas of if something did happen to the Earth, which some people have predicted it might, is this a possible thing that we can do? Can we build a massive train that just keeps revolving the Earth until the Earth heals itself? There's also some really cool moments of just extremes some people have to go to, and it makes you think, like, what would you do if you were in charge of the last remaining people on Earth? What extremes would you go to make sure they all survived?
Every decision in this train matters. And all these freeloader people that are tailies were not accounted for coming in. So they almost had to be treated that way. There isn't really exactly space. I mean, they think there's space, but in reality, the more people are in, things start to get messy and the whole ecosystem is crazily delicate.
We are at that section of who should you watch this show with. Now, in our opinion, this is just a great show to watch. I'd watch it by myself, but I really liked having Assam there for those moments where I was like, oh, hang on, what just happened? So he could fill me in, and I did the same for him. And it was really cool because there's also being a murder mystery. It's like, oh, I wonder if they did this, and I wonder if they've got anything to do with that. And we could sort of start to piece the puzzle together.
And even outside of the mystery, there are also other questions that are going through your mind. And it was cool for us to theorize throughout what we think and what our theories are and what actually happened.
Definitely. All right, we mentioned earlier that you might have seen that there's a movie called Snowpiercer. Now, both the movie and the series were based on some books. So it's all based around the same world, the same concepts of, an ice age and a train and everything like that. But they do have their own separate stories. Now, we watched the movie straight after the series because we wanted to tell you whether, firstly, it was worth watching or whether you should watch the movie or the series first and how you should do it. And what did we think?
The movie was trash. Absolutely terrible. Now, I know that this is sounding like a trend in the previous videos, but nah, this movie was terrible. Like really bad.
Cringy.
So cringy, low budget. It had Captain America. What's his name again?
Chris Evans?
Chris Evans. Captain America. And I swear they just used the whole budget on him, and then the rest of it just...
It did have some other... It did have some other well-known actors as well, but they had like a twist on it that just made it so like unbearable to watch. There was weird action shots. The thing I hated the most was when it was like an action scene, and just to make it like more, I guess, chaotic, the cameraman was just shaking the camera from side to side. It was just ridiculous.
We did not need all of that, and I swear, like every fourth scene, something cringy would happen. It's almost like, are you doing this to me on purpose? Like, relax, chill on that. It was very cringy. It was very weird, and I do not recommend the movie. Just stick to the TV show, much better.
Like, if I had have watched the movie and then seen that they'd made a TV show out of it, I would have just, no, not happening, not at all. So I'm really glad that I had never seen the movie and we just dived straight into this TV show.
Attention all passengers. Wilford Industries wishes you good morning.
Back to the TV show. In general, we put this on just randomly. We're like, oh, new show. It's in the top 10 weekly episodes. We walked into it blind. We had no idea about the comic books, and we were pleasantly surprised. We walked into a fantastic show, and I am a fan. I love Leighton. I love the idea. I can't wait to watch the second season.
We really hope you enjoy it too. Make sure you come back. Let us know if you liked it. Maybe if you've seen the movie, let us know how bad that was in the comments. And yeah, we'd love to hear what you thought of it and if you've been thinking about watching it. So leave that in the comments below. Otherwise, we can't wait to see you next time on our next review. So make sure you like, subscribe, and click that little bell if you haven't already. And we'll see you there.